Now, if you weren't aware, and I'd be surprised if you weren't, but maybe you were busy, maybe you were asleep that day, there was a riot in our nation's capital. January 6th, 2021, a group of protesters that may or may not have been acting under the discretion of Donald Trump stormed our nation's capital. They broke buildings, they tore the whole place up. It was a wild sight to see. In case you forgot, here are some clips of that very fateful day. That was one of the wildest days of my life. I remember sitting watching TV in shock and awe at this thing unfolding before my very eyes. And the one thing I kept asking myself was, how can this be happening? With all of the money that we spend on police, with all of the policing that went down during the Black Lives Matter protests, I remember pictures of police on guards not even letting people get close to these buildings. And these people were allowed to waltz on in. It was shocking to me. And the federal government spent months and months tracking people down because people were taking selfies, people were live streaming themselves, going through Pelosi's desks, tweeting about it. They were telling on themselves so much. It was surprising to see. I think rule number one, if you're going to commit a crime, don't brag about it on the internet. Fortunately for us, many of those people bragged about it on the internet. Surprise, surprise. And so now, fast forward to this week, one of those protesters has finally been charged. Now, AP has the story here. Do you want to guess how much this person was charged for? Let's take a look. No jail time in first riot sentence. Oathkeeper pleads guilty. Now, the article goes on to discuss a variety of different people who have been charged, but I'll skip to the juiciest part of this story. And it says, Ann Morgan Lloyd, 49, of Indiana, was ordered by a federal judge to serve 3 years of probation, perform 120 hours of community service, and pay $500 in restitution after admitting to unlawfully entering the Capitol. She pleaded guilty to a single misdemeanor charge under a deal with prosecutors. After the riot, Lord described January 6th on Facebook as, quote, the best day ever. This story is so funny to me. This is hilarious, particularly the Facebook status that she wrote. She described it as the best day ever. The best day ever. She's describing this like it's a day at Disney Park. Like a day at Six Flags. She rode the teacup. She got a churro. It's the best day ever. Now, I'm not saying here that all of the protesters should get the maximum penalty. I don't want all of these protesters, I keep saying protesters, rioters actually, to go to jail for the rest of their lives. But I want to bring this story to people's attention to highlight the different inequities that we have within our justice system. Now, the ACLU has come out recently, I forget the year, but they've come out with a document outlining just different examples of people getting life in prison without the possibility of parole for nonviolent drug offenses. There are so many different stories out here where minorities, black and brown people, have been getting life sentences for minor crimes, stealing from a Walmart, stealing a pack of cigarettes, selling $10 worth of marijuana, life in prison. Now, a lot of these stories are, are factors or features about state governments that have mandatory minimums. Joe Biden's crime bill is one of the things that factors into why these communities are more harshly punished than white communities. But it's just not fair. It's just not fair that in our country, in America in 2021, someone gets off scot-free, basically after trying to overthrow the government, and there are people sitting in jail for weed, something that's legal in around 19 states now. There are two different justice systems in our country. And you can bet a majority, or, a great deal, I love to exaggerate, but a good number of these people are going to get slaps on the wrist for breaking into the state capitol, for trying to keep Donald Trump as president, stop the electoral process. But there are people sitting in jail for marijuana, for nonviolent drug offenses. And it's just not fair. It just isn't fair. Our system, our justice system, is completely broken. There are systemic equities everywhere. And it's not something that's going to get any attention within our government today. Joe Biden is not going to fix this. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Agree or disagree, let's have a conversation. And subscribe to join the political revolution against mainstream media. CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News, they're all bought and paid for. Independent progressive media is the path forward. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.